Start here. All right, so basically what I have to do is I'm going to go through briefly what hypnosis is, what hypnosis isn't, and go from there. Have you ever been hypnotized before?
No.
Okay. You do know that in hypnotism, it's impossible for me to get you to do something that you subconsciously don't want to do. For instance, if I was to hypnotize you and say, Sid, I want you to get a knife and go kill the neighbor. Hopefully, your inhibitory process would say, you know what, that's your critical mind. It would say, no, that I'm not going to do that.
Depends on what neighbor.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the neighbor. That's against the law. Or he said, I'm gonna hypnotize you and I'm gonna have you go jump off the roof, and I want you to land on your head because you won't hurt yourself. Can't do that. So that's a misconception. You can do that, but you'd be dead if you did that. That's a misconception of hypnosis. You will not do anything. You won't do anything that you subconsciously your mind don't want you to do. There's rules that you've established in life that you know that jumping off a roof and landing on your head would kill you, so you would not do that. So I would say you've been hypnotized before. The reason why I say you've been hypnotized before is you ever drove home and you get home and you don't remember the drive that much, or you missed a turn when you were driving. Does that ever happen?
Mm-hmm.
That's a form of hypnotism.
Mm-hmm.
You were actually hypnotized while you were driving.
I just thought I was drunk.
Yeah, well, that could be too. You can also be hypnotized. You can be hypnotized by ads that are out there. If you ever been driving on the road and you see an ad, or you're reading something and you're staring at it, or you're zoning out. That's a form of hypnotism. You ever been watching a movie and been nervous, scared in a scary movie, anxious, that type of thing? If you say no, then you're lying. That's a
My throat.
oh.
My lozenge.
Oh, okay. Well, that is a form of hypnotism. So you have been hypnotized before. It's just in society. It's that's all basically advertising is nowadays, is hypnotism. So you've been hypnotized before. So basically, to make a long story short, hypnotism cannot make you do anything you don't want to do. So with that, what I'm going to do, and I have my little notes and stuff here that I'm going to go through. I'm going to test your suggestibility. Now, what suggestibility is it's a way for us to see, to see basically what type of learner you are. Okay, when you were growing up, it depended on how your mom was and how congruent she was with what she said and her actions. That'll tell me if she was congruent, then that means you're physically suggestible. If she wasn't, if she said one thing and did another, chances are you're emotionally suggestible. So that's basically the two types of suggestibility there is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test your suggestibility to see if you are more left brain or right brain. Right brain, thinking with your right brain, is more physical. Left brain is obviously emotional. Sorry. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to see how you respond to these suggestions. This is a test that you can't pass or fail. So don't help or hinder me in any way. Just listen to what I say and do it. And then no talking or anything like that. So, all right. So what I want you to do is turn sideways. Give me a hand here. Okay. You get your hand here. Okay. Here. I want you to straighten your hands out. Okay. I'm going to put it right over here. Right here, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I want you to stare right at this middle finger, okay? When I let go of your fingers, they're going to begin to separate. Separating, wider and wider, farther and farther apart. Separating, wider and wider, farther and farther apart. Separating, wider and wider, farther and farther apart. Okay, perfect. You can go ahead and put that one down. Let's do this one here. Okay, hands up again, about there. Okay, you can put that one down. that your phone? Is that an email or something?
Email, yeah. In other words, not important.
Okay. So like I said, I'm just doing some notes here so I have them for later. Okay. So what we're going to do is we are going to do what they call an arm raising. So what I want you to do, and like I said, the test wasn't a pass or fail. It was just so I understand kind of how you are as far as how your learning goes. And I know a lot about how you were growing up, that type of thing, so it's a little different. But once you put your feet flat, don't cross them, put them nice and flat. Put that hand, your left hand on your hand, or on your hand, on your knee, and then that one there. See here. See here. Let's go here. Actually, why don't you scoot your chair up just a tiny bit? Yeah, okay. Okay, pull this one out here. Just let go and I'll move it. Okay. Yeah, there we go. All right. Let's go here and just don't put them flat. Just keep them like that. Okay. All right. I'm going to ask you a few questions to test your suggestibility again, to see if you're more left brain or right brain dominant and how you respond to suggestions. This is one test that you can't pass or fail, like I said before, so don't help me in any way. Everything's going to kind of tell me a story. So, okay, you don't need to talk during this test. If the answer is yes, just nod your head yes. If the answer is no, shake your head no. If you don't know the answer, you can just stare at me. I will find the answers in your eyes and then we'll go from there. So if it's something that yes or no, or it's neither one of those, just go ahead. Okay, here we go, questions. Have you ever walked or talked in your sleep? Okay. Have you ever woken up at night and felt you couldn't move your body or talk? After having an argument with someone, do you ever think of what you could have or should have said? Okay. If you were to think about biting into a sour lemon, would your mouth begin to water? Okay. Can you visualize? Can you picture things in your mind? Because some people can't. Okay. Can you imagine? Can you remember what an image looks like? Good. Okay, what I want you to do is take a look at your arm. From the elbow down to your fingertips. Get a good picture of it. And then close your eyes. Okay? I want you to imagine your arm and hand in your mind. When you can remember what they look like, nod your head, yes, and let me know. Okay, now as you begin to enter the hypnotic state, you'll notice a series of changes taking place in your body. I'll probably notice them actually before you do, but when you become aware of them, just nod your head yes and let me know, okay? The first change that takes place is that of your breathing. Your breathing may have a tendency to grow deeper as your body takes in more oxygen. When you begin to notice your breathing getting deeper and deeper, just nod your head and let me know. Your lips, throat, and mouth will begin to feel dry, and you may have the urge to swallow. When you notice this, nod your head yes and let me know. This is very natural and normal. Now I want you to focus on your eyes and your eyelids. Do you notice that little fluttering sensation of your eyes moving underneath your eyelids? Okay, you're now entering the first stage of hypnosis. You're not hypnotized, but you're entering the first stage. Now bring your attention down to your elbow, the one that's pressing against the table. Okay? As your elbow presses down, the muscles in the upper arm will begin to tighten and pull. And from your elbow down to your fingertips, your lower arm and hand will begin to lift and rise, higher and higher, lighter and lighter, just as light as a feather, lifting and rising, pulling and jerking, moving up off the table, higher and higher, lighter and lighter, light as a feather, lifting, a little jerking, pulling, moving up with every breath, higher and higher, lighter and lighter. Now as your arm and hand continues to lift and rise, your body begins to sink deeper into the chair. Your feet press harder into the floor, and the hand and your leg may even begin to feel heavier. All the while, your arm and hand continues to lift and rise, higher and higher, lighter and lighter, just lifting and rising, pulling in towards the face. Lifting, higher, lighter and lighter, rising, jerking, moving up, lifting up, higher and higher, lighter and lighter. Feel jerking motions as it's pulling up your hand, lighter and lighter. With every breath now, with every inhale, the arm goes up and the hand goes up. And on the exhale, the head begins to drop down, higher and higher, lighter and lighter. Your arm's very light now, slowly pulling, jerking, moving up, higher and higher, lighter and lighter, lifting and rising. You'll notice that your bicep is going to start to tighten. As your bicep tightens, it'll pull it even more up, higher and higher, lighter and lighter, higher, jerking, moving up. Now at this time you may begin to notice that your hand starts to twist and turn inward at the wrist. It's almost as if there's a magnetic pull on your hand coming into your face, and your head dropping down to meet your hand. It's now twisting and turning, lifting and rising, pulling and jerking. Sensation that goes up higher and higher, lighter and lighter, just as light as a feather. Like I said, when every inhale the hand goes up, and on the exhale the head begins to come down. Now when your hand comes all the way up and touches your face, the moment you make skin contact, you will reach the peak of suggestibility and enter a hypnotic sleep. Higher and higher, lighter and lighter. Deep sleep. Each and every time I suggest the words deep sleep to you, for the purpose of hypnosis, and with your permission, you will enter this state of hypnosis very quickly, calmly, and deeply, and the physical body will relax. I'm going to grab your hand and put it down the table. Now what I'm going to do is, I will now use a count from 5 backwards down to 0. With each and every count, the mind and body allows you to enter the hypnotic sleep more deeply at 0. Starting with a count of 5, we are beginning to go down now, deeper and deeper into the state of hypnosis. 4, physically releasing, relaxing, and letting go. 3, there's an emotional calmness that covers you. 2, you are mentally relaxing now. 1, going deeper and deeper. And 0 is deep sleep. Now each and every time I suggest the words deep sleep to you, for the purpose of hypnosis, you will enter this state of hypnosis very quickly, calmly, and deeply, and the physical body will relax. Now what I'd like you to do, Sid, is I'd like you to imagine yourself at the top of a staircase. It's a very sturdy staircase. There's 20 steps and you're at the very top looking down, very sturdy handrails. Now what I want you to do is I'm going to take you into the next step, and basically we're going to walk down, and each step as we walk down you're going to get more and more relaxed with every step. So as you envision the staircase, you take a step down. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. The body is getting very relaxed now. 14, 13, 12. Each and every step, your body becomes 10 times more relaxed. 11, 10, 9, beautiful staircase, drifting down. Each and every step you drop down, you get more and more relaxed. 9, 8, envision the staircase. 7, 6, 5, very, very relaxed, heads very heavy. 4,